Hey guys, genre movie recap here. Today we are going to watch satire genre movie called Look Who's Back. The first part of the movie takes place in Berlin during the Second World War. Hitler is with a man named Kiel, who is a behavior coach. Hitler says that he doesn't agree with the way people are greeting Kiel. He says that the Nazi salute is old-fashioned, but people should still show respect by raising their hands to their wrists. Then he tells the story of how he did everything he could to destroy the enemy's foundations after they desecrated their land. He doesn't understand why German is here and finds it scary that he is too. In the next scene, he wakes up somewhere in a forest on the ground and looks up at the sky. He sees that the enemy planes are gone and thinks that they may have stopped flying to take a break. All of a sudden, a ball came rolling toward him and stopped right next to him. He stands up and walks past the bush toward a building. Then, 3 young kids come up to him and ask him if he is. Hitler sees them and thinks that they are the country's future. Then he asks where the street is. At that very moment, a reporter named Fabian Swarsky has his camera out and is filming the kids. On the far side of the screen, Hitler can be seen. He picks up his army cap and tells himself that he should go to the Führer bunker. Hitler goes outside and is amazed to see people riding bikes with only one wheel. He finds people taking pictures of him and says that even though the rubble is gone, the people are still gone. Then he feels a new car in his hand and asks himself what's going on. If he went into a deep sleep and missed the wind. He realizes that he doesn't know everything about his situation, so he tells himself to find out more. Then he asks a man where Chancellery is, but the person asks for a picture instead. When people take pictures of him, the flashes of their cameras bother him. He is also confused by all the strange things going on around him. He comes to the conclusion that something went wrong here. Hitler is walking away when he sees a woman talking on her phone in German. He walks up to her and asks what day it is, but the woman is scared and sprays his eyes with water. Hitler cries out in pain as his eyes turn red and he has trouble seeing. He falls down and walks to a nearby newspaper shop. When he sees the date, he is shocked. The paper has the date October 3, 2014 written on it, and it falls to the ground at once. In another place, the boss of a TV station, Karner, says that Mr. Christoph Sensenbrink is doing a great job as the head of the deputy. He suggests a better solution, but instead he names Ms. Kaya Binney, another worker, as the managing director. Christoph is shocked and angry about this. He goes to his office to get even with Fabian, a struggling filmmaker. Even though Fabian tried very hard to persuade his boss, he still got fired and was thrown out by the guards. Hitler wakes up later at the news shop and asks the owner what day it is. He says it is, in fact, the year 2014. Hitler doesn't know what's going on, so he asks the shopkeeper if he's taken him hostage and thinks this is all a trick to keep the enemy's secret. He tells the shopkeeper that he will kill him if he helps the enemy, but the shopkeeper gives him a bar of chocolate instead. Hitler instead opens it with a lot of trouble and sniffs it. He says it looks like grain that was pressed in a factory and asks the shopkeeper about it. If there is still not enough bread, the shopkeeper will mistake Hitler for an actor and ask him if they are making a documentary nearby. The shopkeeper then tells Hitler that he looks just like the Führer. Hitler tells him that he is the Führer. After that, Hitler sees a Turkish newspaper and asks the shopkeeper if he has Skirmer or Panzer Bar. The shop owner says that more of his customers are from Turkey. Hitler doesn't understand why there are Turkish people in Berlin. Then, as he reads the newspaper, he starts taking notes on what he sees. He thinks that he didn't win the war in the past and that Germany was given to women who were clumsy and didn't have much charm. He also says that Poland shouldn't be there, and he says that the war was a total loss. Fabian, meanwhile, looks at his soccer reporting video and cries because he was fired. Fabian, don't be afraid. You can get a job on YouTube in a few years. His mother tells him to stop watching the video and calms him down. When Fabian looks behind him and sees Hitler, he is amused to see someone who looks so much like Hitler. Back in the shop, the shopkeeper tells Hitler to put down the newspaper and stand outside. Hitler doesn't like being told to do this. The shopkeeper tells Hitler that his clothes stink and that he should wash them. He then goes to a laundry and asks them to clean his uniform. Hitler asks if they have another uniform because he can't leave the room without one. Hitler doesn't realize that he is in modern Germany, and that being naked isn't a big deal. Next, we see Hitler wearing jeans and a sweater as he walks to the new cellar in Bussen. On the other hand, Fabian has tracked him down and is waiting for him in them. When he sees Hitler for the first time, he is shocked by how he looks. Fabian asks Hitler if he can film him marching through modern Germany. Hitler thinks it's a good idea. Fabian gets some money and a car from his mom and starts his trip with Hitler. The two people end up in a hotel, where Hitler finds it funny to watch TV. After that, he starts talking about politics. In Fabian's speech, he goes to different places and asks people what they think about politics. After talking to the people, he finds that democracy didn't have much of an effect on them. During his time away, He looks at people's discontent and hidden anger. This reminds him of the 1930s, when people had similar ideas but didn't have the word political disenchantment. People tell Hitler that immigrants are a problem, which makes Hitler push harder. His idea was that mixing different races. Fabian later asks Hitler where he got his strange mustache. Hitler says that he cut his mustache to fit a gas mask. A little while later, the two of them end up on a farm where a dog bites Hitler. He's angry, so he shoots at the animal. Fabian scolds him and takes the gun away. As the tour goes on, Fabian runs out of money. But he comes up with a plan and gets people walking by to let him draw their sketches. Hitler gets to show his creative side for the first time when he gets paid to draw sarcastic pictures that people find funny and buy. They keep going on their journey. When Fabian gets back to town with enough money, he shows a clip of Hitler to Christoph. Fabian put the video on the internet, so a lot of people have seen it. Christoph is amazed by how many people have watched the video. He asks Fabian for the name and number of Hitler. Christoph thinks Hitler is crazy after meeting him, so he asks Fabian to take him away from his office. Before he leaves, Hitler goes into the director's office and asks her to help him save Germany. Bellini is interested in the idea and asks him how it will work. She tells her assistant right away to get a good TV format ready for broadcasting. Less people who listen to Hitler's speeches. Then, Fabian tells Christoph that if he doesn't give him back his job, he will take Hitler away. When Christoph hears this, he makes him a kitchen boy and promises to promote him when a new job in the editorial department opens up. A kitchen boy is better than an internship. I think that Hitler gets a table at the TV studio at some point in the future. Hitler needs help with his computer, so Christoph calls Chromie. Hitler talks about the computers of his time and calls them one of the best inventions. Chromie. Hitler tries to sign up for email, but he is told that his name has already been used. Hitler grunts for other people, taking their names, and tells her to use the new Reichschancellery the way he liked it. Christoph wants to put Hitler on a live comedy show called Whoa. He is still angry that Bellini got a promotion instead of him, so he plans to make things hard for her. He wants to bring up racism by making snide jokes about Jews and get rid of Hitler. When the show begins, Witzigmann, Hitler is called for by the host. The audience talks about how Hitler looks from the audience, but when Hitler looks at the audience, the whole room goes silent. Soon, Hitler breaks the silence, but he doesn't say the lines as written. He says that he was supposed to tell a joke about immigrants, but he won't. He says that TV is a great thing that people have made, but that the shows that are on it are just nonsense. Hitler had obviously never seen Game of Thrones. He talks about problems like poverty and unemployment and says that the country's people are going to fall into a deep hole. Hitler says he will fight against TV not only until they show the broadcast of The Abyss, but also until he wins. Everyone applauds for him and likes the idea. When the host Witzigmann sees how popular Hitler is, it makes him feel bad. Bellini asks Christoph to talk about Hitler on every show. Christoph is upset that his plan didn't work out. In the next scene, we see Hitler on a number of TV shows, talking about how he wants to make Germany great. This movie was really ahead of its time. His popularity grows a lot, and he meets a lot of people and leaders of different parties. He starts to win them over by telling them about his ideas. Hitler and Fabian go to the NPD office in Berlin one day. He calls Adolf, the head of the NPD at the federal level, and asks him what his cause has done. So, Hitler insults him and says that they have wasted enough time and that their words have set the movement back by decades. When the police and district attorney show up at the TV studio, Christoph is happy and excited. They say that they are here because someone has charged them with breaking hate laws. When Bellini asks what they should do, Christoph says quickly that they might have to cancel the Führer show. The DA says that the broadcasting can continue. Bellini lets out a sigh of relief, and Christoph puts on a fake smile. After the DA leaves Chromie, he gives Christoph a letter that says the dog Hitler shot earlier in the trip has been paid for. Christoph is happy to get the letter because he thinks it could be a way to cause. Hitler is then put on a TV show where he is asked straight questions about what he did in the war. Hitler says that he wants to reach out to people, but the interviewer tells him that he can't make up for everything he's done. He plays the video of him shooting the dog for him. People are upset by the video. Hitler is angry and tells him he will do the same thing to him. He also says that he will use their studio as a place for tanks to park. Christoph likes it when people say bad things about him. After the terrible interview, Bellini is fired and Christoph is put in charge. After that, Hitler goes to live with Fabian at his house. He thinks that Destiny's Path is funny, and he starts to write his second book. The book will soon be on sale. 3 months later, everyone at the TV studio sits down for a meeting to talk about how much money the company has lost. Christoph thinks that Sigmund's show will get them back on the right track, but another worker tells him that he has quit. Christoph gets angry and tense because the chosen employees lost the show. Christoph is interested by the staff member's idea to bring Hitler back. He goes back to find Hitler and tells Fabian that he will put $1 million into the movie Fabian and Hitler are making. if they let them show the movie on their TV station in exchange. Hitler and Fabian go to Krohmeyer's house, where the grandmother of Krohmeyer's recognizes Hitler. She says that Hitler killed everyone by gassing them. She calls him a thief and tells him to get away. Hitler says in the car that he is surprised to learn that Kromi is a Jew. He starts to say that Jews are not as good as other people. Fabian is upset by what Hitler does and what he says. Back on the set, Fabian asks Hitler to tell him all over again how he got there. He asks Hitler what happened before the ball came rolling to him in the woods, but Hitler can't remember. Later that night, when he leaves the set, some bad guys are waiting for him. They tell him that he is the reason why Germany should be taken back, and they hit him hard in the face. When Hitler opens his eyes, he is in a hospital and is looking at Binny. At the same time, Fabian is watching the video he made of the boys playing soccer. He pays close attention to it and sees that Hitler got up from where he was lying. Fabian is surprised by what came before. He quickly goes to the place and finds a sign there that says where the Führer bunker used to be. Fabian runs to the hospital quickly, but Hitler is not there. Bellini says he is going to the set to work. Bellini doesn't believe Fabian when he says that he is really Adolf Hitler. Fabian acts crazy and yells when he tries to explain his theory. They try to catch him, but he gets away. When Fabian gets to the set, he points a gun at Hitler. Hitler says that he has never said he was anyone else when asked who he is. Fabian says that Hitler's propaganda is tricking people, but Hitler says that people chose a leader who openly shared his whole idea. In 1933, Fabian uses his gun to take Hitler to the top of a building. He gets Hitler in a corner and calls him a. Hitler, in turn, said that ordinary people chose an extraordinary man and put the country's fate in his hands. He tells him that people chose him because they believe in the same things deep down. Hitler falls off the building and onto the street after an angry Fabian shoots him. Soon, Fabian hears Hitler's voice saying that no German can get rid of him, and right behind it is Hitler, who has just been thrown down. Then Bellini calls for a cut in the studio, and everyone cheers because the shoot is about to start. It turned out that it was just a movie shoot, and Fabian was played by a random actor. Hitler then tells everyone to think about their friends who couldn't be with them because they were needed somewhere else. Kromi is crying because he can see Fabian through a hole in the wall of the mental ward. After the movie, Hitler and Bellini are busy signing autographs and doing interviews. Boom. As they walk down the street, people seem to like Hitler and treat him with respect when they see him in a car. We really appreciate you watching. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell because it is really important for us. Thank you.